Good afternoon. I'm Attorney John Cannon with Cannon Associates. Today we're going to speak about can I get my case expunged and what that means in Oklahoma. First point is, what is an expungement? Well, if you look up expungement in the dictionary, it has terms such as obliterate, erase, permanently remove, but that's not necessarily the legal definition of what an expungement is under Oklahoma law. Under Oklahoma law, an expungement does not, in fact, erase or entirely remove your criminal record. What it does is it seals it. It protects it from public view. So an expungement under Oklahoma law will not allow employers to see records, the public to see records, even some officials will be unable to see those records, so that for business purposes or for career purposes, it won't be visible to the public. Now, even if you receive an expungement or a sealing of your records in Oklahoma, it still will be visible to law enforcement and prosecution offices. However, it won't be visible to the general public anymore. So if you're able to obtain an expungement of a criminal case in Oklahoma, OSCN, the Oklahoma Supreme Court Network, other resource databases will not have those records anymore, as well as if someone were to do an OSBI or Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation background check on you, then the records wouldn't be available there as well. If you did not know, anyone can go to the OSBI website, can obtain a form that they have there, submit an application or request for information on you, and find out what criminal records are available. However, the benefit of an expungement is that if a potential employer or your current employer submits a request through OSBI for your background and you've had a successful expungement with the assistance of a criminal defense attorney, then those records won't be available, and OSBI is mandated to give them a return of no records are available, showing that you in fact do not have a criminal record. So, another question, why would I need or why would someone want an expungement? Just going on with what we were just speaking about, in these times and in any times, having a criminal case on your record, whether it's something a year old, 5 years old, or 20 years old, can really negatively impact your personal life. It can negatively impact your employment, and it can negatively impact rights to vote, right to bear firearms, and other rights that may be important to some people, or almost anyone, you would think. And with an expungement, it allows you to erase those records and protect those interests that are so dear to so many of us. Under Oklahoma, there's not a situation where if you just wait long enough, something falls off the record. It's not like that. Those records remain forever. So something's 5, 10, 15, 20 years old, it will still be available to the public. It will still be visible on OSCN. It still will show up as an arrest record unless you take corrective action to seek an expungement under Oklahoma law. So what can be removed? What can be taken off? Well, protective orders, there's a potential for dismissal or expungement of. Domestic violence instances, there's a potential for expungement of. Misdemeanor offenses can be expunged. Arrest records can be expunged. Some felonies can be expunged from your record. And with the new laws that changed November of last year, and have been put into effect since, Title 22 that speaks to the expungement issues, Section 18, there is a laundry list of things that now are possible to have expunged that never exist before. So if you have spoken to a criminal defense attorney last year or any year before that and were rightfully advised at that time that you were ineligible for an expungement, those things may have changed at this point. So it's important to speak to an attorney and get counsel about whether you now qualify for the expungement laws that have been changed or modified for the current times, giving people a second chance, an opportunity to get beyond their past. Additionally, there's a Section 991 expungement, and that's an expungement of the actual criminal case. So if you had an adjudication or deferred sentence, and under some circumstances, even a conviction in Oklahoma, there's a possibility now with these expanded laws the legislature's allowed that a much wider group of people that have convictions or have criminal events on the record can now seek and obtain an expungement. So exciting times for people that previously thought that their past would follow them the rest of their life. There now is the potential to expunge your past or to change what's on your record or what's visible. So lastly, what can we do for you? Here at Cannon Associates, we're fierce advocates for families and freedom. We know the negative impact that a criminal record can have on you, that may have on our clients that we're fighting for every day. If you believe that you have an offense, an arrest, a conviction, or even a deferred sentence or adjudication that you may want to seek an expungement on, please reach out for a free consult. We'd be happy to speak to you or your loved one about that process, give you advice as to whether you may or may not be eligible, And if you are in fact eligible, we'd be happy to help you with that process. For some people, expungement is not an option, but there is the potential to seek a pardon. And these are issues that apply not only to state, but federal law. There are federal cases and circumstances that you can seek an expungement, but unfortunately some circumstances require you to seek a governor pardon or presidential pardon first. That's a very difficult or high bar to reach, but there is a potential, and we'd be happy to talk to you about what that looks like. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and ask. As you've seen in the ticker tape at the bottom of the screen here, please feel free to follow our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook. We're trying to put out these videos on a regular basis to give people the facts and information to help them make decisions about their case or their loved one's case. Thanks.